Learn to master your mind so it does not master you. This is just a quick training right here about one of the most powerful concepts that I've ever came across and that you'll probably come across. It's going deep into mindset, not just black and white or salt and pepper. It's going into mindset exactly how it should be taught and giving you a glimpse in how you can apply this to your life and business so that you can actually be more productive, you can earn more money, you can communicate better, close more sales, and overall you can boost your growth 10x in regards to that as well. So give me a second, I'm going to share this concept with you right now. So right here you have this little concept and it's called the stick person. Okay? And the stick person, if you see the top half, the bottom half, and the body. So if you imagine an imaginary line going through the top of your head, that's the conscious mind. Below is the subconscious mind, below is the body. The conscious mind is the thinking mind, it's the educated mind. It's where we gather information too. It's where our five senses are. We can taste, smell, see, touch, and hear. And then it's also where we have these amazing mental faculties. We have memory, perception, reason, will, imagination, and intuition. These are not part of the training today, but this is just the tip of the iceberg. So definitely tune in for more after this if you're interested in those. And the mind controls the body. So the body is an instrument of the mind. So whatever is impressed upon the conscious mind, the thinking mind, is then expressed through the subconscious mind in the body. The subconscious mind is where our self-image is how we view ourselves. It's where our paradigm is. And our paradigm is a mental program that controls our habitual way of thinking and acting, and that's 95%. So I know it's a lot of information right here, just a little overview, and then whatever is impressed upon the subconscious mind, the paradigm, the self-image is expressed through the body. And those are called our behaviors and our actions. And by the law called the cause and effect, we take action. We take massive action, causes a reaction, and then we get a result back that changes our circumstances, our environment, and our conditions. And that's really how life works. So it's how do we get positive actions, how we take positive actions in our business and our life to get positive results. That's what we're going to talk about today as we go much deeper into this concept. And that's a whole nother training in regards to the stick person. So definitely drop a comment if you want to learn more about that. This is just a quick overview in regards to these things. And we'll really jump into this. So the importance of intention. So intention is so important. You should really go about your days being aware. And what I mean by that is when you wake up in the morning, start to ask yourself questions of what do I want to accomplish today? What do I want to get done? Who can I talk to? Who can I connect to? All these things. It's playing off my phone right now. Sorry about that. Ask yourself all these questions every single day to get you going and to start to gear your brain to think in that way. It will change your life. The quality of your questions will determine the quality of your life in regards to that. So set intentions with what you do every single day, every single activity. It doesn't matter if you're going on a Zoom call. It doesn't matter if you're hanging out with your family. It doesn't matter if you're going to the gym. You must set intention. And then there's a whole concept between the quantum physics that explains that the observer effect and how you can put your attention on a possibility in the field and have that become real in physical reality. And that's a whole nother subject as well. So we're going to keep on topic here. So the stick person is what we talked about first, and then the importance of intention. And really the neuroscience behind things is this one fact is that your subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between what's real and imagined. And that's really cool. And a lot of people do not understand what that means. So what I mean by this is if you close your eyes and you tie in your five senses and you imagine yourself, let's just say giving a speech, and you imagine the audience, you imagine yourself flowing with the words and everything comes to you and everyone's clapping, they're coming up after you're talking your speech and they want to learn more from you, your brain's going to start to build that muscle as if it's already happened. And then the event must happen because your brain, we'll talk about the reticular activating system, is going to start to look for certain people, circumstances, events, and opportunities in which you can experience what you've already conditioned your mind into experiencing, if that makes sense. So I'm going to share some powerful tips with you today. It's not going to be too long, so hang in there, take out a notebook, take out some notes, and prepare to get your mind blown. It's going to be fun. It's going to be awesome. And if you've seen this material before, it's the repetition of the material that changes the paradigm as well. So let's talk with intention. Intention leads to behaviors, which lead to habits, which lead to personality development, which leads to destiny. So intention really does lead to your destiny. And we call that the RAS, the reticular activating system. And what is the RAS? The reticular activating system means that our brain can only pick up a certain amount of information at a time. And the amount of information that we decide to pick up is based on where we focus and the meaning we attach to things. So think of the example that I like to use is, you purchase a new car or something, and now you're in your new car, you're driving around. Before, you didn't notice all the other cars on the road of the people who drove your car, but now that you have your new car, you start to notice, wow, there's my car over there in black, there it is in white, my car is everywhere. So since you started to bring this to your attention, you started to pick up on things in your environment, your focus started to use its energy, your brain started to use its energy to pick up what you started to focus on. So if we can use this in the right way, if we can think about our business this way and think about opportunities, and we can set a goal that excites us and it scares us at the same time, that's really what we should be going after. Okay. And it's our goal, it's our vision, it's no one else's. But if we can put our focus on our goal every single day, our brain is going to start to pick up certain cues, opportunities, conversations, and talking to people in our environment that's going to help us achieve our goal. I want you to think about the brain as it's kind of like a rocket, and you set the target and it's going to reach that destination no matter what. There's going to it's going to have to go off route. It's going to have to dodge some obstacles, but eventually it's going to find a way to its destination as long as you have the desire, the persistence, the discipline, and you're taking the actions on a daily basis to get there. So that's what's so powerful about the RAS as well. So next, below that as well is, again, up top is where it says think, feel, body. The conscious mind, the subconscious mind, and the body. I described this a little bit earlier. We can hear, smell, taste, touch, and hear, see, smell, taste, and touch with our conscious mind. That's where our mental faculties are: the will, the perception, reason, memory, imagination, and intuition. And these 6 mental faculties, most people don't know about this. That's a whole lesson in itself. Actually, I teach my clients that as well, is how to use each one of these to change your environment, because every single creature that you come across in the world is perfect in its environment. It doesn't worry about the past or the future or its goals, besides humans. So that's because we have the ability to create our environment. We have the ability to make decisions, to take action, to go to different places. We can move wherever we want. We can do certain things as long as we're using these mental faculties correctly. So that's all stored in our conscious mind. And that's where our choice, our free will is. The past and the future is all stored there as well. And then other ways of thinking: shock, agreement, and fascination. That's how you can actually get people's attention. You can do it through shock, do it through some sort of agreement. Would you agree with me this? You can do it with fascination. I say some really cool information like this, and you open up your mind, and you got to think like that. And then so that's the conscious mind. It gives us the ability to think. And then the subconscious mind below, as you can see: repetition, emotional impact, hypnosis, energy, psychology. Those are ways that you can condition your mind the way that you want to be. So repetition, the repeating of ideas over and over, information over and over, can change your subconscious mind, can change your paradigm. It can change the way that you feel and the emotions that you feel. Emotional impact is a little bit different. It's something that happens. If you've ever heard those success stories that someone hit rock bottom and something happened and then they made their way back up, that's an emotional impact. Or I had a couple emotional impacts of people passing away in my life that made me look at life differently, made me look at time and urgency towards time differently as well, that made me take action. So that's how you can influence the subconscious mind. And keep in mind, the subconscious mind, the feeling mind, the heart of hearts, the emotional mind, has no choice, no judgment, no sense of humor, no concept of time, and it's all in the present tense. So whatever is impressed upon the first half, what we described, the way that we think, and outside influences, goes directly into that subconscious mind, conditions us to think, feel, and act the way that we do, our habitual way of thinking at 95%. So our paradigms and the programs that we have, if you think about a computer program, you downloaded an app, our brains are very similar, and some people don't like that. It's the truth. So we have certain beliefs, we have mindset, it's our habitual behavior, it's our self-image, our values, our memory, and much more. And then whatever is on that subconscious mind, again, is expressed through the body, through actions and behaviors, and that's what we call our results. So what I find, so many people and coaches and programs and experts are focused on changing behaviors, and you can see down there where it says action, that's where the behaviors are. But the issue is they're not changing that core. They're not changing down here. They're not changing the subconscious mind, which is the core, which is long term. They're changing down here. Change the action and behavior, then the results will change. And the truth is, yeah, that's true. But the thing is, that's temporary. So I know me, like I want long-term results that are permanent, that I can build on for the rest of my life, and I can grow and become a new person. So the point of our goals is to grow. It's not to get. And some people don't understand that. So it's to enjoy that journey, to grow, and then achieve that, and then reset this again with this foundation. It's something I teach my clients as well, is how to build out this mindset, how to work with nature's laws in terms of this, how to condition your mind to success, because success is a science and fulfillment is an art, but you need to have both to have purpose in life. And that's what you got to keep in mind. So that's very powerful in regards to this. We'll continue on. Emotional impacts aren't as rare as you think. So a lot of people say, what's an emotional impact? I gave you an example, but as you can see right here, they can happen anywhere. And the quote right here says, and you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. So sometimes emotional impact is known as a breakthrough. It could be like for me, it was a couple people passing away that I knew. It could be hitting rock bottom, maybe financially, and you have an emotional impact that I need to change. It's no longer I could change or I would like to change. It's a must now. I must change to get this accomplished. Old age could be an emotional impact. So you start to get older. Oh, I've waited 30 or 40 years to grow my business. I'm finally ready. Okay, that's all emotional impacts. A weight. Maybe you hit a weight that you're just uncomfortable about, or you looked at yourself in the mirror and you said, wow, I need to get in shape. That's an emotional impact as well. So instances like that, but the point is, we don't want to hit these negative emotional impacts to know that we can improve. We want to make this a lifelong process so that we're doing this every day, so that we're earning the money we want to earn, we're having the freedom that we want to have, and we have the life we want to have for ourselves, our family, and our friends, and for generations and generations to come, and that we have passion and joy, empowerment, inspiration in this journey. We are enjoying our life, and so that we can repeat this process, because really this process is showing you a goal achievement system that can be repeatable. And that's the beauty of it. So down here, we say persistence and repetition is key. So Eric Kandel, if that's pronounced right, he won 2000, he won that Nobel Prize. 2009 European Journal of Social Psychology study on habit and formation. So this is what he said. He said it takes between 18 and 284 days to form a habit, with the average of 66 days. So how many of you have heard it takes 3 weeks or 21 days to form a habit? I think we all have, right? And I don't think that's the right thing, because to change a habit is to change the subconscious mind, and to change the subconscious mind is to change the paradigm. And we have these certain ways of thinking and beliefs and paradigms and habits that have been formed our whole life, from ages 0, since we were born, to 7 or 8 years old. We don't have a conscious mind. So all that information from our parents, the news, the people around us is all going in. We're like a sponge, and it determines our self-image. So our environment creates our self-image, and then genetically as well. That's how we create our personality, our self-image, the way that we act, feel, and the results that we experience later on. So it's time to take our power back in business and in life as well, and in any area, knowing this information. And just know that it may take some time to get that habit changed within that subconscious part of you. But once you have that going, and once you have that end goal, and you have that target that we talked about, and you have this within you, the habit, the program, you have it for the rest of your life. So really, it's invaluable in that process. If you're willing to put in the work, if you're willing to do whatever it takes, and you know that you're able to, and you have that desire within you, then this right here is priceless, because it's your core and you have it forever. So keep that in mind. Be patient with the process. Make sure that you're talking or working with someone that knows what they're talking about, has done what you want to do, and they know how to develop habits at the end of the day. So the law of repetition is what we're talking about next. It's repeating a thought and feeling and an action and skill. So a thought, a feeling, an action, and a skill. A thought, a feeling, an action, and a skill. Over and over again until it becomes easy, automatic, second nature, familiar, routine, subconscious, common, habitual, unconscious, natural, effortless, and implicit. So the more that we repeat something over and over again, the paradigm of the subconscious will change and it'll become part of you. It'll become part of your nervous system and you'll just know more about it. That's the truth to it. We can all agree with that. Doesn't matter what you're doing. So this also happens with study and information. The more information you experience over and over again, you memorize it and you just know it by heart now. And that's through repetition. So we can do that with our habits as well. We can change our habits in regards to our business, how we coach people, how we speak, how we influence people, how we do marketing, how we do sales, how we do speaking, how we earn money, our productivity, our focus, our relationships, anything in your life can be altered through this as well. And knowing this deep concept of mindsets. So again, mindset's not just black and pepper, it's very deep. You want to go deeper? I know this is a lot of information here, but again, you can always go back. You can watch this again. I want you to drop a comment right now. Like, what are you getting out of this? What's the biggest takeaways you're getting out of this so far? Or what did you enjoy? Like, drop a comment and help inspire other people that are watching this or going to watch this as well. So we're going to talk about the different kind of waves, the brain waves that we have. We have gamma, beta, alpha, theta, and delta. Don't worry about the cycles per second, but you can see that gamma all the way down to delta, highest to lowest. So what's this really mean? What I found and what I know is that early in the morning and late at night, you're more in an alpha and theta state of mind. Okay, so an alpha is very creative. So we'll start with gamma. That's in flow, that's connected to the infinite insights. That's a high perception. So your brain's working really fast. You have high beta and low theta. It's fully awake and alert. One of the betas is being stressed out in survival mode, while the other one is just being fully awake and alert. So you've got to be conscious of that. Alpha brain waves is when it starts to get lower and you're in that creative state, you're relaxed, you're daydreaming, you're using that right side of your brain. The right side of your brain is very creative. It's where your imagination is put to work, and the left side is more logical and analytical. But if you can use both at the same time, combine it with your heart, then you're going to be aligned in all aspects and avenues. And that's when you feel really good and you're doing really good things in your life and you're creating. And then theta is drowsy, it's unconscious, it's a hypnotic state. So when you do hypnosis, they bring you into a theta state. And then delta is deeply unconscious, is sleep and dreaming. It's literally when you're asleep. And then through that state, you have REM, rapid eye movement, you have light sleep, you have deep sleep. So the reason I'm showing you this is it's very powerful because look at this. The stick person on the right, the conscious mind, subconscious mind in the body is you cannot access your conscious mind, your subconscious mind, unless you're in those lower states, the alpha, the theta, and the delta, mostly the theta. Okay. And then in those higher states, like the beta, that's where the conscious mind is. That's where it is. So knowing this information, how can you make sure that you're in a theta state or an alpha state? And how can you feed yourself information in that state so you can actually condition your mind to what you want? That's what I talk about. Or how can you communicate with people if you're selling something to put them in a state that's open to suggestions, and you're not tricking people and manipulating people. You're helping people, but you're helping them see past their paradigm and get into their emotional mind so you can help them in this process and you can help them get the results they want to get in their life. You can help solve a problem for them. That's what we do as entrepreneurs. We're problem solvers. So keep that in mind. This is a very important diagram. So let's jump into this. So this is what happens. Most people have the same thoughts, the same feelings, the same actions, and get the same results. And that's the old you. That's living in the past. Even though the days are going on, and it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you go on the weekend. The thing is, we're doing the same things over and over again, expecting different results. And that's insanity. That's what Albert Einstein said. Compared to the person that has new thoughts, new feelings, new actions, new results in a new future, that's the new you. That's the new me. So we want to be on the right side of the spectrum. We want to make sure that we have a big goal that excites us and scares us at the same time. And I teach that to my clients as well, in a very powerful way that other people don't do it this way. And that you're working towards that, and you're in a state of being every single day that matches that new you, that matches that future that you want, so that you're thinking like that person, you're feeling the emotions of that person, you're taking the actions of that person, and then you're going to reap the results of that person in your business. It's a whole different world, and it's a whole different world of way of living, and it's consciously taking control of this instead of doing it unconscious and making it a part of you. So to change is to be greater than the old self. It's to be greater than your environment. It's to be greater than yourself and your identity. It's to recreate who you are in this process. And you know it's going to be uncomfortable, because with comfort comes uncomfortable comes growth. Without being uncomfortable, you're not going to grow. And that's where fear comes in. You have a process for fear and overcoming that. It's all just knowing that as humans, these are natural tendencies that we have, and we can learn certain processes and strategies to work with this and overcome this that are natural. That's like how I've gone all the way from someone that worked for someone else to creating over a 6-figure business in coaching as well. And it's the same information, and it's the application of the information, since knowledge is the precursor of experience. So we have to have the knowledge, but we also have to have the experience and take the action to change beliefs and to change the results the way that we want to change it. And then down here, we have a couple of things as well. Use intention to get your brain to do the heavy lifting for you. Okay, so set your intentions on a daily basis. Go about your day, be aware, and make sure that you're aware of this information. And life doesn't have to be hard, it can be easy. Not saying that you don't have to work hard to get what you want. I think you do have to put in the hours. I think you have to do the things that most people don't want to do. That's the common denominator of success. But you can have a joyful process. You could be empowered in this process. You could be inspired in this process. It doesn't have to be forceful. You can work with these certain laws that God put upon us, and that nature put upon us. Nature's laws, that it's flawless in that process, and everything's coming to you. Wouldn't that be cool? There are 2 times a day that your subconscious mind is in a hypnotic state. Okay, so I mentioned that. It's first thing in the morning, and it's at nighttime. So if you can use repetition during these times, you're going to speed up that process. If you can use a form of mindfulness and meditation in the morning, you can visualize. That's a whole nother topic as well. You could speed up this process. And if you put a vision or a goal within your subconscious mind, again, your reticular activating system is going to go after it. And your subconscious mind is linked up to God or the universe, and it's going to start to send people, events, and opportunities in your direction. And then you need to have the awareness to say, oh my God, that's a synchronicity. I'm going to take action on that. I was just talking about that thing. I'm going to follow that path. And these certain signs, as people will call it, or coincidences, which I don't believe in coincidences. I believe the universe is by precise order, and everything's happening for a reason, exactly on time. You're exactly where you need to be right now, listening to this for a reason, and that's the truth to it. So when you feel like giving up, keep going. It takes time to change a habit. Notice your own and your clients' emotional impacts. Be the bearer of truth, and it sets people free. So you're going to start to notice the way that other people think, and to notice that they don't have access to information like this, and that you do have access. So you're a leader. It's your responsibility to set the tone, to have people look at you as a positive influence, and then help bring people up to where you are, and help inspire other people to do what you are doing, since you know this information. Because the truth is, a lot of people are just ignorant in the sense of not knowing, and that's the truth to it. In an age of information, not knowing is not a good excuse, because we have all the information there ever was and ever will be. It's all here, evenly present at the same time, especially with the internet. Keep that in mind. So what are you gonna do? Like that face? What are you gonna do to take this information I just gave you and implement it into your life? How are you going to take this training about the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, the body, the reticular activating system, intentions, different brainwave states that I went into as well? How are you going to apply that to your life today? I want you to comment below how you're going to apply that. I want you to leave an insight as well if you want. So an insight below of the biggest takeaway of how you're going to do this. And I want you to share this training with someone. Okay, tag someone in here, invite them to this group. Do what you have to do to be the leader for your family's friends and colleagues, or even clients, to get them access to this information. That's what I want you to do. So it was a pleasure doing this today and being on this call and helping you see mindset in a different way, in a more powerful way, in a more impactful way. If you need to go through this again, go through it again. Again, this changes you at your core. Okay, we're not playing games with all this temporary stuff like all the other coaches are doing and stuff like this. We're changing paradigms. We're changing that 95% that controls every aspect of our business, of our life, of our relationships, the way that we view ourselves. It's very, very powerful information that a lot of people are not ready for or don't have access for. So keep that in mind as well. And just the fact that you're watching this today means that you are a leader in some form. It could be in your business. It could be you're working for someone else. You're a leader. It could be in your family, as your friends. And it's time to step up. It's time to do what is right for you first off. Be selfishly unselfish. Learn information like this. Share it with other people so they can grow as well and we can grow as a whole. So again, go through this again. Drop a comment below your biggest insight, what you're going to do. And I will see you next time. Bye now.